You can see now, the player has 165 health. He's down to just one rocket. 1 versus 1. Ninja at a total of 77 HP. It looks like he's just going to go for this. He's just deciding it's time to get up close and personal. Pump shotgun out. Ninja looking for the fight. Whips the first shot. Whips the second. The challenge comes in. Can Ninja win his first game? The Rockets are out.
Camera cart, cameras, grip, drones, Moby. We are Vegas bound. We're headed to Vegas to go and film at the Esports Arena in Luxor for Ninja, Tyler Ninja Blevins. We are starting the process of shooting a documentary on him, a big charity event. So we're packing up and headed out there. And then once we're done with that, we'll go to Utah and film some climbing stuff.
It's gonna be fun.
At Retrospec, Jason is very passionate about making sure that every project that we're working on is something that at least somebody in the company enjoys. I was like, what am I passionate about? I like video games. At the time, a game called Fortnite had come out, and there was one specific person that was very, very popular. His name was Ninja, but he was still kind of on the rise. Ninja streamed with Drake, which I don't know if we should probably talk about that. That might not be a good thing. Maybe in like some alternate reality, we'd be able to get a hold of him and try and pitch some sort of docu-series. But I just figured, hey, why not? I'll reach out. I got an email back, and it was from his wife. I think her name is Jessica. She was like, hey, we would definitely be interested in this. Like, let's set up a call.
We're in Amarillo, a third to half the way to Flagstaff, which is our final resting place today.
Where are you sitting?
I'm sitting right there in the back.
We'll draw an arrow or something.
Yeah,
video.
Oh! So we hit the road, headed for Las Vegas, and this was back in the day when Retrospec was a much smaller company, long before we had a creative development department. So some of our most memorable creative strategy meetings actually would happen in the car on the way to or from a shoot like this, on a long road trip.
Yeah. So to me, like, the message to drive home overall is this message of, like, I suppose, of optimism, pursuing something to become the best at it.
Hey, I barely play video games, and I can relate to that.
The idea of becoming a professional gamer is sort of a strange, like, doesn't even sound like a realistic thing. Is all the games he plays first-person shooting games?
He just plays one.
What is the game he plays?
Fortnite. You basically drop into a certain part of like a map.
Timers Association, if he does, and another different landing this time down.
Don't tell me he's going Wailing Woods.
There's 100 people. Nobody has anything. You find stuff and you basically start killing. It's like Hunger Games.
He's using it for things. Absolutely.
Last person survive wins. This is like an event based around him where people pay to come and play against him.
So this Ninja project, I mean, it was kind of strange for me because I kept trying to comprehend even the realm because I don't play video games. But I think we kind of resolved that maybe it was good that I was directing because I would truly implore questions because none of it made any sense for me. And the fact that on this trip we're gonna do rock climbing and video gaming, and I don't really know. I feel like those things are like completely polar opposite. You use your hands for both, but like one, you're like sitting in a beanbag eating Cheetos, and then the other, you're like drenched in sweat and like covered in chalk and trying to make it up something that's really hard. So I'm not saying that like one's better than the other. I just, I might have an opinion, but, to each their own.
So are you actually going to compete against him?
Me? No.
Oh, you have to. That'll give us a whole nother good angle on the story.
Okay.
Well, the other thing, too, is you kind of have that gamer look.
What, you mean scrawny and just like pale?
Look, you have two options. You can be a rock climber or you can be a gamer because you fit both those profiles. What do you want to be? I don't care.
Can't be both.
Can't be both.
So were you on hold? Like, or were you actually on the phone with the customer support at Airbnb?
Yeah, just a second ago. So they said they're going to try to get a hold of her, and if they can't get a hold of her in 13 minutes, then they'll give us the refund no matter what. Or at least she told me to find another place.
Can we find a place this late? Like, do they have that thing that VRBO?
It sounds like they'll be able to accommodate us.
We booked 2 houses, and after booking them, they canceled on us. We booked a 3rd house, then they canceled on us, but said we couldn't stay there, yet they were going to keep our money, which I'm pretty sure is called stealing. So we're trying to get the money back from Airbnb, which has not been easy. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me, sir?
I can't hear you.
Let me do this. Let me go ahead and give you a call back from the end, okay? I'll go ahead and call you back.
Okay.
So we're on the road, we're driving, we're not even sure yet what day we can do the interview, and so a lot of that hinges on where are we gonna stay. For this shoot, I mean, we really needed to be able to like park our vehicle in a driveway, back it up so that we know people aren't gonna try to get in the back. We can bring gear in, we can build out cameras. We had to have carts built and things ready to go, you know, and it just keeps popping in my mind. It's like, we're not supposed to be spending a ton of money on this shoot, and we're already like in the hole for places we're not even gonna be able to stay. After 4 Airbnbs, I think we finally found one. We need to be at the backstage of Luxor at 12:30. So we'll probably hop in, go get some lunch, and start the process.
What the world? We've arrived in Vegas, waiting for about 5 to 10 minutes until we can actually get in.
Pulling up to the Luxor, and you see this massive picture on the side of it promoting the event. We pull up, we start getting all the gear out, and then we push in.
So after we load in, me and Brandon decide to get a lay of the land and explore the place a little bit. So we round the corner just in time to come face to face with Brandon's hero.
Holy shit.
This is like better than Halo World.
What's up, guys?
The first thing that we're doing is setting up for our interview with Ninja, and we have like 20 minutes with him, and they were like, it's 20 minutes and not a minute more. I don't think it really hit until we were like in there, set up, ready to go. He walked in, it was like, okay, oh man, this is nuts. Just somebody that I thought, hey, it'd be really cool to do a story about him, randomly send an email, and then now we're sitting in this room about to do an interview with him.
I had to go pack my bag. I packed everything. Yes. You didn't want to drive in? That's what we did. You drove from where? We drove from Oklahoma. Yeah, man. Wow. Same from where you are. You're up by Chicago?
Chicago to Vegas, I think it was like 20.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe more.
We could have raced.
Holy shit, dude.
Rolling.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, so let's just start. Talk to me about your childhood.
We got about 20 minutes with him. I remember I'm running the other camera, and I can see his like handler over in the corner. She's like, we gotta go. And so I'm kind of like looking at Jason as he's doing the interview. I'm like, we have to wrap this up. I don't want to piss these people off before like the event's even started.
With the competition alone, man, I love that. I've been itching for it for a long time again, to get back in the ring. And there's a lot of good players who are gonna be here.
Sweet. That's it, dude.
That was awesome.
That was the way to end it. Cool. All right, we'll pull the mic off you.
Yeah, please.
I bet they have 100 other things for you to do, so you can go.
Thank you for driving out here, man. Seriously. Yeah, dude.
Our play.
Done on interviews. There's one more that's like it's like for purple.
That was only supposed to be recorded.
Hey, that was awesome. A rock star.
Yeah, totally.
Camera on
Yeah, that was really.
I was disappointed. I thought we were interviewing like ninjas.
Super nice, solid interview, and then he leaves, and then at that point it was like, okay, we've now heard everything that he said during that interview. Now we have the next basically 2.5 days to capture everything we need to help supplement that. And so throughout the event, we were roaming around capturing interviews with other streamers, all the prep of the event, and then just the actual event.
Here we are, day 2.
Day 2.
Day 2.
Technically day 3.
Good news is we still have all of our gear.
Yep.
It's still there.
We got these badges. So now we're official. Today is the day. Today is Ninja Vegas Esports 2018. One night only, April 21st.
One night only.
Let's go.
If you're not here, you're not anywhere.
Yep, it's true. We are prepping. He'll be here in about 20 minutes. We're gonna get his intro. We're gonna get some rehearsal time. He's gonna play a little bit. And then the games begin.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Tyler's down there practicing. He's been practicing for like 3 hours, so.
And the sky panel will probably pull up prior. We are setting up for an interview with Dr. Lupo, which is Ninja's best friend. So the event's like, doors open in about 50 minutes. So we're trying to like squeeze in little areas and film as much as we can before like it just gets super loud and too many people,
So then we spent the next few hours trying to get as many interviews and B-roll as possible. So when you're in crowded spaces like that, it is super hard to try to get from one place to another. You're constantly watching your gear, making sure nobody's knocking over your cameras. So we're just in this crowded war zone of teenagers and the smell of Cheetos and Mountain Dew Code Red. And then all of a sudden, the smoke alarms go off.
So they have a lot of fog going on here, and it set off the smoke alarms for the entire casino.
We don't want to set off the fire alarm, so we're gonna have to be very careful because I believe fog machines will still set off smoke alarms.
So the event has been put on hold for now. Listen to this.
The reason for the alarm is now being investigated. We will keep you advised. Thank you.
I got something that'll get the people on the floor.
You know, filmmaking really is this constant question of how far can you push it? How much gear can you use to get the great shot amongst the difficulties and the timer that's always running out? We want to shoot it in the best fashion possible. And those inconveniences, you know, they translate into quality if you're willing to make them. And I think that was definitely one of those times where I think a lot of people would have taken shortcuts, but we didn't take no shortcuts.
The event is just about over. We were only legally able to capture a certain amount of it. We did everything we could. We got some last minute interviews with some really big players that were probably gonna help tell the story more than we thought. Super key. We're just loading up. Got a couple more things to grab, and then I think we're gonna go out and just try and get some Vegas lifestyle kind of stuff to put in the edit. But besides that, pretty successful.
Filming for the Luxor, just so you know.
Yeah, it's just they don't ever tell us.
Okay.
So they just say chrome, valet, and then I just come. Because I'm hourly, not salary, so that's where the confusion comes in.
So when we went to go shoot B-roll of the strip, I remember Jason saying we only had one shot at this. I just said, hey, let me pop out of the sunroof and I'll get as much as I can. So I'm out there just hitting all these different cool angles. And what do you know? It looks like the intro of Ocean's 11. So.
And at that point we were like, all right, like let's take this all back and let's make something awesome with it. But we couldn't because we had to go climb.
Fortnite. It's so much more than a game now. It's a revolution, and the audience is massive. But who will the world look to? Who will survive? Who is amongst the elite? But to be the best, you have to beat the best.
I mean, if you don't know who Ninja is, the #1 streamer on Twitch, man.
He just kind of exploded. We got an email and they were like, would you be interested in headlining in Vegas? People competing against me in Fortnite.
This is Ninja's event in Las Vegas.
These guys are becoming the new generation of actors in the entertainment industry.
It's really the evolution of an industry that's been going on for 25 years.
There's 232 other people here that are going to play in the heats today.
Whoever kills Ninja makes like $2,500. Whoever wins the game makes $2,500.
Can Ninja win his first game? The Rockets are out! Ninja with the victory!
look, you have two options. You can be a rock climber or you can be a gamer. Because you fit both those profiles. What do you want to be? I don't care. Can't be both. Can't be both.
Jason, I'm climbing.
That's not climbing.
Jason, are you proud? Dad? Ow!
It's all there, bro.
Yeah, dude, you talk with.
And from there, we started the second part of our trip, our journey to Moab.
I remember driving through Zion. I didn't really get to take in the scope of the scenery because I was trying to make sure we didn't fly off a cliff.
He's gonna jump up here and get some shots up top and out of the sunroof.
Just hang out the sunroof, try to film some red,
shooting in Zion.
Because he had me driving while this guy's hanging out of the top of the vehicle, shooting like crazy, and I'm just driving like I want to look, and then I'll be like, oh gosh, don't fall off this cliff. That was really cool going through there, though. I mean, even just a little bit of stuff that I actually got to like slow down and look off to. Zion is just an amazing breath of fresh air. I mean, it's a special place.
I'm going to read this first. It's going to sound extensive, but I want you guys to listen because I think it's really important that everybody knows what's going on and what we're trying to do so you don't suggest things that don't make sense.
This project was unique in that the script that was written was paralleling a person's financial success and growth through time and overcoming obstacles and taking risk with rock climbing. We were trying to figure out how we execute this though. And it was tricky because the problem is like that line, for example, it's one of the top 50 American classic climbs. It is something that every rock climber that is anybody has done. And we knew that with cameras and bags and drones and trying to move expediently, that this was going to be quite a feat. So how would we do it?
Tuesday morning, we approached the tower of the chute. The plan is to work up the route on the fixed lines and set up climbing gear at the location of the shot. We will work up the route in this manner until we have gotten all the shots we need. We will then summit and set the ropes for rappelling. We will send all but 2 down the fixed ropes. The final 2 will untie and fixed lines will rappel the wall pulling the ropes as they go.
Just kidding, guys, clean all that. It's a little dirty. They're talking climbing stuff and we're just kind of
8.9.
hanging out, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Just waiting. So we're gonna pack everything as far as what it needs to climb and then some food and some camera stuff, and then we're gonna go up there, I guess.
Hey, Forbes, are you okay? You finding power?
Yeah, I think there's something down here.
I think, no, the other side of that boulder. I heard there's 110 out here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right here.
You got it?
Yep, got it.
Wait.
If nobody else has service, it's everybody has 5 minutes that they can chalk out to call their significant others.
Sounds like a good idea. We just need to get Caleb a girlfriend.
Nah, man, then I can't climb as much.
See? I made it. Exactly where I wanted to be in life. We're on approach, day 1, setup day of the shoot here on Castleton Tower. We're about 50% up, and it's a decently intense approach. It's about 1.8 miles long and 1,300 vertical feet. But we've got a lot of gear. We're going to test the drone, and we are going to rig all the static lines up the wall. So we're getting ready to climb the whole thing and pick all the spots we're going to film at.
Cheers.
I think in another life, Jason was a mountain goat.
No, it was.
Nice. It's nice and heavy.
Okay.
That's at least 50 pounds, Jay.
We're carrying up a lot of gear. We got the drone. Adam's got a bunch of stuff. The guys have everything. The climbing team is already past us. And as we're going up there, I'm just like, I don't feel like I want to do this. And I'm looking down. I'm like, I could just take the drone off down there.
How's it going, Brandon? Going, you know? It's going. We're going up. Almost there, I think. I don't know, I heard we're almost there like 40 minutes ago, so I really don't believe anything anymore. They're already up there, I think.
We spend a good majority of the day getting up to the base, and I remember getting up there and just kind of having this moment where I'm like sitting off, like just looking at like where we came from and looking at I was just like, I'm not gonna do this tomorrow. I'm good. I think Adam even took a picture of me just like contemplating, like me just like, I'm not happy right now.
You have two options. You can be a rock climber or you can be a gamer. What do you want to be?
And so I told Jason, I was like, I'm comfortable flying the drone down there. We've got walkie-talkies. And so we kind of head down for the day. That's the plan. Great.
Well, it's the early morning hours on day 2. Yesterday was really, really rough. It's a lot. I'll try to sum it up a little bit. So we all go up in a group of like 6 or 7, and we get up to the top. There was a point that I was on some loose gravel, and it just felt really unsecure. And basically we get up there and figure out we have to be on the other side for my angle and Brandon's drone angle. So I have to find a route around that part of the cliff, and it was just a little sketchy. We got to the spot, so we're about to head back up there and get this shot done.
How do you just run through here? I'll run through here, and I'll pull all the slack up.
Make sure that we both have working radios. It's like a lifeline for the drone.
You think they'll work that far?
Radios? You're supposed to work 5 miles without obstructions. That's 1 mile, so.
This climb is a multi-pitch trad climb, which is a real specific type of climbing. So as you're trad climbing, you're inserting this traditional climbing gear into the rock, trying to secure it, attaching your rope to it, and climbing some more. So doing that while filming is really, really difficult. Our method was climb the entire tower, set static lines. So we had 200, 300, and 400 foot lines that were secured in different places hanging down the tower. Then I would lock myself into it, and that would secure me to film those that were climbing. It's quite tricky. Filming climbing is an art form. It's really difficult.
Technically, there's a couple teams. You've got Clayton and Caleb who are gonna go up and try and finish the route that they couldn't finish yesterday. Jason and Matt will kind of start. Like Jason will be next to him, and then they'll do like a certain move, and then they'll climb a little bit, and then they'll stop. And then Hightower will be over on a side shooting on like a long lens up, and then we'll just kind of be waiting down here for a drone shot of like the final like epic like going up and stuff. So right now they're just rolling on like all the intro stuff until they get up there, and then probably shoot. Clayton and Caleb are going to go up pretty quick, and then they'll probably be about 2 hours behind them, and by the time they get up there, hopefully everything's set and we can start rolling.
The clouds are actually pretty cool.
These guys are setting up equipment and waiting for the client to get here.
I didn't keep my eyes out for Dan. I can wave him down.
Yeah, for sure.
We found you guys because you guys were like camping or something out there. We were like, we stayed in a hotel. I don't, you know. Jason early on, I said, yeah, I'm looking for it. He kept telling me, he said, you won't make it up there. I said, of course I can make it up there. He said, no, you won't make it up there, I promise. And I didn't know what he was talking about until we started that hike up there. I was like, okay, I am out of breath. I'm tired. I couldn't believe it.
So we're about to take the drone up to the mountain top. We have clients with us. We're basically, as you can tell, in the middle of the desert, nowhere, but picking a prime location, first of all, where we have cell phone reception, but then also where we can have a decent vantage point of seeing them in the first place.
That's what we're standing on. Crumbly nothing.
Wait, Caleb, you mean that this whole tower is sitting on this?
That's what this whole tower is built on.
Nice.
Yeah. Really comforting. Probably shouldn't have done that. It's gonna fall over now. 10 out of 10 would whip on it.
You know, climbing and filming is its own, definitely its own discipline. It's very challenging. You have to have specific tools of specific safety climbing gear. We had brought 2 different people with us that were dedicated to making sure that all the ropes were set safe, that we were safe so that we could focus on the filming part. We got a lot of good shots on the way up. It was definitely a relay because we realized we started to fight time. And we started fighting the sun, and I, keep trying to get in a position to get the right angles.
There did get a point to where even Dan and the client was like, are we on schedule? And depending on what side of the wall they were on, the radio walkie-talkie signal wasn't great. And so I didn't want to just be radioing Jason every 30 minutes because, they're literally climbing, I don't ever know how many hundreds of feet.
We're radioing the drone in. Forbes has got the drone. He's, probably a half mile away, but flying the drone over to us. So trying to get the right aerial shots with the large drone of Matt climbing up this tower.
These batteries for this drone, one, they drain pretty quick because it's a larger drone. And 2, we don't have any power where we're at. We're looking and we're like, he's up there. It's that tower. But we can't see him. And so we get up and it takes us pretty much 10 to 15 minutes to even find them on the wall. And right as we're about to start rolling, these drones have basically a auto come to home shutdown feature that at about 25% it starts yelling at you and doing this awful beeping sound, and it's basically like, hey, I'm gonna die soon, please take me home. It's easily gonna be about a 3-minute descent to get the drone back down safely. So we roll on it as quickly as we can, and then I just start bringing it down.
But then we realized, one of the money shots, one of the big shots that we were really trying to achieve was Matt on top of the Castleton Tower with a drone shot that pulls out off of him. I just remember seeing the sun going down and just being like, oh crap, we've got to hustle. So I pop out the backpack, I pop out the drone, I get Matt in position, I give him direction. It's super windy. I take it off, it immediately takes wind and just gets swept off the top of the Castleton Tower and just shoots out over the edge. And then, believe it or not, somehow I'm like, I think I got the shot. I think I got it. And it's this epic, it's just literally you can't even imagine. You're in what's called the Castleton Valley, and it's one of the most iconic, beautiful places on planet Earth.
We've flown the drone probably 4 or 5 times. We fly it one more time and Jason goes, all right, that's probably the last one. You guys pack up, we're almost to the summit. We'll see you in a little bit. And that was pretty much the last that we heard from them until many hours later.
We have finished. They summited. They shot all they needed to shoot literally right as the sun was setting. We weren't able to get the Inspire up there. I guess they even flew the Mavic, and they said that the winds were pretty gnarly. So we just kind of did some sunset stuff low down here. Packed it up. They're rappelling down, and I think we're done.
It finally came time for us to shine, to do our drone skills, and I'll show you that footage right now.
Let me say this. Great job, everybody. Yes. I know this was a long day for all of us, but man, thank you. Great job.
Oh, they did it.
Well, thank you guys. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
Thanks,
Drive
sir.
safe.
Thanks, man.
See you, brother.
I'll see you Friday.
Yep.
I think reflecting, because this was years ago, I think this was 6-7 years ago. I think that trip really spoke to a lot of things that are kind of core in the DNA of Retrospec, and we've never let anything stand in the way of us creating. And I think the project we did with Ninja was a prime example of that, of just saying, hey, could Retrospec make something in the entertainment space? And, you know, that project never took off, but who knew that we would eventually make a TV show that would get distributed and have multiple opportunities since then to work on different television series and films. And then I think with the project that we did in Moab, again, that's just, I think that's just common to how I think. I really want to create things that no one's ever done. And I think it's that originalist inside of me that loves the idea of capturing something in that lens that no one's ever seen. Sometimes that means you're suspending yourself on a rope on a 400-foot tower in the middle of a desert in Utah. That was a while back, and I love where this company has gone and the team that's assembled, and I'm so excited about where we're going next.
What'd you guys do today?